We'll talk more of Ryder Cup. We're going to make the hard pivot to the Sanderson Farms Championship. The show must go on. Greg, this is your full field with a cut. We've talked about the FedEx Fall before. These guys needing to position themselves. We see a lot of guys play, the fall week over week, basically play the entire fall, jockeying for position. So we're back to stroke play. Will you be able to focus on this, or will you still have lingering Ryder Cup thoughts?
I'll definitely have lingering Ryder Cup thoughts, but okay. I'll be able to get into this. Okay. I don't know if I will on Thursday, but come Friday, I'll be ready to go. I'll be following it, and I'm really looking forward to it. This is a cool section of the fall. It's almost like a Q school, 8 over the span of 6 weeks. Which is a really cool thing. If you think about it, like 6 rounds, you're going to tell who the best players are over 6 rounds? No, but you do it over 6 tournaments. Now you got 24 rounds. That's a much better sample size. So I'm really excited to see how the guys move up. You're going to see a lot of fight. You're going to see some guys make a nice charge. And although we had the Pro Core already in the fall, this is really, it's like a restart. The Pro Core is like a cup match warm-up, and then we restart. Now we really get into the fall with some consecutive weeks in a row.
Yeah, and Mark, Country Club of Jackson is a place we've seen plenty. It is it's going to play as a par 72, as it always does, 7,400 yards. What do we know about the Country Club of Jackson?
Well, first off, I did have something else about the Ryder Cup.
Okay.
Fans, I scoured every nook and cranny in that merchandising, and I could not find the Rory McIlroy USA t-shirt. I tried, though.
Oh, good call. I forgot about that. I'm sure that they have been sent to needy children in Africa. Yeah, for sure. Those were never going to make it into the merch shop.
No,
those are with the losing
the USA ones,
Super Bowl teams.
Yeah, exactly. The 4-time Buffalo Bills Super Bowl championships.
As it pertains to the Country Club of Jackson, some of the best greens you're going to see all year long. Thing about the South, though, it's been quite dry down here for some reason. And so I'm expecting the golf course is going to play really well, because its best defense is about 2 inches worth of Bermuda rough, which is just slightly dormant. So if you hit the ball in there, the ball comes out like a rocket. And then you got these greens that are like billiard tables. And if they're firm, it's going to be a whole lot of fun to watch. It's a cool golf course. It's old style. But the greens are the best part of it, and the Bermuda rough. So it always produces a good field. And you've got to hit the ball well around there and, of course, make some putts. But the cool thing is, like, if you look at some of the winners there, you got a striker like a Luke List, and then you got some dude like Peter Malnati that's won there too. So you can put the dots off the thing and win, or you can ball strike it to death. So it's very democratic in the way it plays.
Kevin, you is your defending champion, and just to kind of put things into perspective, your favorite, Akshay Bhatia, teeing it up this week, Min-Woo Lee, Michael Thorbjornsen, Davis Thompson, amongst others. That's what the top of this board looks like, and some other names we're going to get to in a second. Armina is going to release the grid in a minute, but Mina, I don't know if we got Mark, did you see the grid from last week? This is the grid from last week. You had Tommy Fleetwood at 9.5 to 1 to be the top point scorer. Yes, sir. And you had Europe winning at plus 170. Very job well done.
And Russell Henley, my gosh. Well, he only played 3 times, didn't he? Yeah.
That's correct.
So who was the top debutant?
Cam Young.
Cam Young.
Oh, yes, of course.
3-1.
Yeah. Splendid. Sat out Friday morning, played every session after that, went 3-1. Very well done. Okay, Mina, now you can release this week's grid, please. All right. that was last week's grid. Oh boy, we caught her in a pickle. She's there we go. All right. So if you've never seen this,
you better be careful, Rick. You're going to be in the doghouse very shortly.
I've already annoyed her once during this show. I might as well just go for it all right now, because I'm going to be in trouble one way or another. If you've never seen this before, this is the grid. We've got 1 matchup, 1 finishing position, and 2 separate outrights. Gives us a chance to talk about more players. Let's start with this matchup. And Mark, I'm going to start with you, because you have no fear about a guy who probably has 1% recovery right now.
But look, I'm still on the Rasmus Højgaard train. I was disappointed he didn't play more. I watched him play. I thought he was playing great. And to come out in the Ryder Cup and birdie your first hole that you play, I thought that was pretty big. And they got on the wrong side of momentum there. But I'm looking at this saying, yes, he's probably exhausted from the Ryder Cup, but probably exhilarated too. Because to be in an environment like that, you see how these golfers, when they're just letting it fly and they're playing at a level above themselves, because you're seeing guys at their very best and the adrenaline's flowing. And I feel like some of that confidence is going to flow over. Now, I'm not saying he's going to win, but I feel like he's good enough to beat Michael Thorbjornsen, so I'm going to take him.
Yeah, that's even money. Rasmus over Michael Thorbjornsen. Greg, this is very much a FedEx Fall event with these two names, but I like where your mind is at. Where are you headed this week?
Yeah, I got Patrick Fishburne over Mark Hubbard. And I find this to be interesting. Look, some of the recent form stuff you got to kind of take with a grain of salt because we've had a little bit of time in between. So, like, for Patrick Fishburne, he played the Pro Tour. He played the Wyndham. The event before that was in July.
Yeah.
So you got to take it with a grain of salt. But, what else are we going to look? We're not just going to guess here. So I find it really interesting. I look at the past winners here. You got Kevin Yu, Luke List, Mackenzie Hughes, Sam Burns, and Sergio Garcia. Okay, for the most part, these are great ball strikers. Then if you look at your course key stats on rickrungood.com,
which you should.
Putting is very highly correlated to success, which explains the Mac Hughes, even though he was first in tee to green the week he won. It explains Malnati. It explains players like that as well. Well, Patrick Fishburne, I think, has the firepower to be in that great driver of the golf ball kind of category. He's also he ended the season on a tear with the putter. In his last 5 events, he was beating the field with the flat stick, and his ball striking was pretty good. So I have a lot of faith in the upside here with Patrick Fishburne.
That reminds me, Greg, you're going to be very happy. I am almost done a brand new course key stats tool that is like as crazy as ever. It might be, I might pull a shoulder patting myself on the back. It might be my best work yet.
Really?
Yes.
I can't wait to see it.
Yes. Thank you.
Folks, that's Rick Run Good, RICKRUNGOOD.com.
That's right. Thank you very much. .com.
You should be Rick Run God. It's just so good.
Wow. Thank you. I'm going to clip that. It'll probably be available, probably not next week. That's Zozo. There is no data for Yokohama. Probably the week after that. I'll tell you what, Greg, I'll send it to you in advance and tell me if there's anything else you want on there. And because it's like speak now or forever hold your peace, because once I publish it, like.
I noticed you're not sending it to me. What's up with that?
Well, you listen, you want it too? I'll send it to you, but I
look at Rick Run Good often.
All right, I love that.
I didn't need to look at Rick Run Good to tell you what the notable course stats were for Jackson, Mississippi.
Yes, Jackson, Mississippi. It's all on there. Every shot that's been hit is getting in there in some form or fashion. This concludes the Rick Run Good ad. Rico Hoey over JT Poston for me. Talk about guys that flush it. Talk about guys that need to find a putter. Rico Hoey could be this year's Kevin Yu. I know he's going to show up later for, I won't spoil it, on the grid. But Rico Hoey over JT Poston -105 for me. Finishing positions. Greg, you get to go first.
I will go with Emiliano Grillo for a top 20. That's at +140. I really like the way that he's playing. I like the way he ended the season. Made 5 cuts in a row with the top 20. And he was 4th at the Pro Tour as well. 2nd back at the John Deere with kind of old school Emiliano Grillo ball striking. I could see some similarities between him and Kevin Yu or Sergio Garcia when he's on his game. Putted much better towards the end of the season too. Feel like things are looking up, and I feel like this is a good course fit for him. So I like him top 20, Emiliano Grillo.
I found, so I saw these on DraftKings, and by the time we go live, these are not always available, but they had specific lines for finishing positions.
These.
Yes, which by the, we do this, Tuesday afternoon. They're not always up there. I couldn't resist. So I have Akshay Bhatia under 25.5. So it's basically he needs to finish inside the top 25. So under would be better than that. So if he finishes 7th, 7 is under 25.5. It's a smaller number. That's how that works. At minus 120, I think this kind of little bit of a reset is good for him. You know, the putter started to misbehave a little bit at the end of the season. I think he is the best player in this field. I have a lot of high hopes off of this mini reset, and I have him finishing what is essentially inside the top 25 at minus 120.
So what was the line on him to finish inside the top 20?
It would be, I can pull it up for you.
Yeah, please.
Minus 105.
Okay, so it's kind of commensurate. All right, I see where we are.
Yeah. So I just get a couple extra positions there. Now, Mark, you are going back to the well off a golfer who had, in his most recent start, one of his best results in a long time.
Maybe it's a little recency bias, but like I said about the European Ryder Cup team, I'm a big one on form. I really am. And Lanto Griffin looked pretty good at the Pro Core. I mean, had a shot to win, really. And I can't help but remember his post-game remarks, where he just seemed like he was so thankful and so relieved to basically have locked up his PGA Tour card for next year. So this guy's showing up there in Mississippi where a lot of guys aren't, where they kind of under the cosh a little bit to now have a big finish to get their card for next year. I feel like Lanto is swinging freely, he's swinging well. Top 40 plus 105, sign me up every day and twice on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
All right, sign Mark up indeed. That's Akshay, top 25, essentially. Grillo, top 20, and Lanto Griffin, top 40, which leaves us with the outright market. And this is a little bit weird, right? I think we've kind of alluded to this. We've got guys that played last week at the Ryder Cup. We've got guys that played in Napa. We've got guys that we haven't seen since the Wyndham Championship. So some guys are in, I don't want to say better competitive form, but we've just seen them more recently. So you'll kind of see we're all over the map here. Mark, why don't you give us your 2 outrights, please?
My 2 outrights. One is a former champion here in Mackenzie Hughes, and he is playing solid at 40-1. And the other one, I feel like it's time. I really do feel like it's time for Max Homa to now get himself into contention. Now, I'm not saying he's going to win, but if you look at the field and you said Akshay was the best player in the field, Max Homa could lay a bit of a claim to that. I understand he's coming back with the golf swing adjustments, but from everything I've heard from people close to him, he's very happy with where his game is. I was surprised at the poor play in Silverado at the Pro Core, but you come into a place where it's going to reward him. He's long off the tee. He can strike some shots around here and make a few putts. So Max Homa and Mackenzie Hughes, both 40-1.
Yeah, that I like that area of the board, like 30-1 and longer. I think there's a lot of good options there. I went there with Matt Wallace, who has played 4 times since the Wyndham Championship. He's got the runner-up finish at the Omega European Masters. He played the BMW Championship. He had a pretty good strokes gain numbers there, just kind of didn't putt as well. So I've got him at 40-1. And then Davis Thompson, who is the guy that I'm kind of just like resetting. I think Davis Thompson needs a little bit of a reset. You look at the longer term stuff, last 100 rounds for everybody's top 3 tee to green player in this field, has won on the PGA Tour before. I trust the DNA of Davis Thompson maybe more than the form that we saw at the end of last season. So he's 22-1, a little bit closer to the top of the board. Gregors, you've got 2 very interesting names here. One overlaps with Mark. What did you find for us, please?
Yeah, the one overlapping with Mark is Max Homa at 40-1. I think it's really interesting, Rick, when you look at the longer-term form, you could call him the best player in this field without question, depending on how long you look. And any kind of reset for Max Homa would be a good sign. But it's more than just guessing what happened in the reset. For the last month or so of the season, maybe the last 2 months of the season, Max Homa started to hit the ball a lot better. Now he started his profile from a statistical point of view is starting to look like the Max Homa of old, where if he putted well, he played well. If he didn't putt well, he did okay. But putting kind of was the key to him winning. I think he's getting back to that place with the golf swing. I'm not seeing a golf swing that is lost. I don't think we've really seen that since like Detroit or maybe the Travelers. So I'm big on Max Homa this week for an upside play of 40-1. Might be the last time you get him at odds this long. And then next I have Rico Hoey. Like you, Rick, I really like what he does tee to green, and the switch to the long putter. Now this is the second week of that. I think it has the potential to be electric. And it looks to me like Vegas thinks so too, having him at 30-1. Max Homa, that number feels a little long for him. It feels a little short for Rico Hoey. I think in both cases, that's a good situation.
2 nods for Max Homa, a Mackenzie Hughes, a Rico Hoey, a Matt Wallace, and a Davis Thompson on the outright board.